Y'all gotta stop letting me buy books, because I really need to read what I have. Hello everyone, it's Gwen, and today I'm going to go over the books that I accumulated throughout June and July. Alright, let's start with the books that were so kindly gifted to me off of my wish list by Evie. I will link her below so y'all can go give her some love. First, she sent me The House in the Cerulean Sea by T.J. Klune and The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern. I won't spend too much time on them because they're booktube classics. I'm sure y'all have heard all about them 500 different times, especially this one given everything going on right now. But thank you so much, Evie. I really appreciate it. All right, the next batch I picked up just some books at my local library's book sale. The first book I got a copy of Lord of the Flies by William Golding. This is one of those classics that I think we've all had to read in school, and it was one that even in school I was like, I bet I would really love this story if I wasn't reading it in a school setting. So now that it's been, like 10 years since I last read this book, I want to give it a go, being able to just read it and enjoy it as a book instead of having to pick apart every little sentence and figure out the meaning behind it. I just want to enjoy the story. I believe this was a plane crash where a bunch of schoolboys end up stuck, stranded on an island, and it's just them. There's no adults around, and basically the shenanigans of them trying to survive until help can come. If you are at least halfway through high school, you have probably already read this book. The next book I picked up from the library sale was a Sherlock Holmes book. This is The Hound of the Baskervilles. My grandmother, when she was still alive, she loved Agatha Christie and Sherlock Holmes. I read my first Agatha Christie like last year, I think, and then I've never read a Sherlock book, so I saw it and I thought, well, 50 cents if I don't like it. It's not like I'm out much. This is a good old Sherlock classic about, it sounds like a beast, a hound. I don't know if it's meant to be like a hellhound is supposedly terrorizing a country town, and obviously Sherlock and Watson trying to figure out what's going on. Alright, next I picked up another copy of Black Beauty by Anna Sewell to add to my Black Beauty collection. I've lost track of how many times I've read this book. It has a lovely old cover. I think I've lost track of how many I have. I think it's somewhere between 16 and 20, but this will join their ranks. Alright, after that I had a Kickstarter book come in. This was Last Road to the Backwoods by, it's a husband and wife team, I believe, Sophie and Sophie. This is about a horrible crime that happens in a very small backwoods town called Archangel, and it's a historian and bookseller are like teaming together to try to figure out kind of what happened and how this ties to the town's kind of dark and mysterious history. It says the ancient woods are watchful and hungry, and I can't fully tell if this is going to be like kind of a little bit of a fantasy, or if it's going to kind of lead you to think there's something paranormal happening when it's just people being crummy. I will find out when I read it. I am excited. I have several Kickstarter books I need to get to. So far, I've read a couple comics from Kickstarter and they've been good. I don't think I've read an actual book from Kickstarter yet, and I need to, but hoping to get to this soon. Alright, next I am giving Ruth Goodman another shot. I got How to Be a Victorian, A Dawn to Dusk Guide to the Victorian Life. I had her book on how to behave badly in medieval England. It was so dull. I ended up DNFing it like halfway through. Like, it just, despite the subject matter, it was so dry, but I'm even more interested in Victorian times than I am medieval times, and I'm told Ruth Goodman is like one of the go-to people for learning about that time in history, and I really would like to just read about the day-to-day life. So I'm going to give her another shot and give this a read. I'm going to try and maybe do it in sections instead of like just sitting down and trying to read it. Maybe that'll go a little better. Next, I picked up a manga this month. I got Secret. When they have the X's, I never know if we're supposed to say them or if it's just decorative or if you're supposed to say triple X or XXX, but Secret X's. This is basically just a very sweet story about Shohei, who loves bunnies. I believe this is Shohei. And he goes to work in a pet store that is owned by Mito. And he reminds him of a bunny and stuff, and he wants to snuggle him like the bunnies, and it's supposed to just be very cute. So I went ahead and picked it up. I believe it's a standalone. This is a BL, says explicit content, so I'm assuming it's more adult, but the premise just sounds really cute. Oh, and I got distracted. This is by Meguru Hinohara. Alright, and next, these like suddenly popped into my head. And I remember reading the first book in elementary school. I think I was in 6th grade. I think I was in my later half of elementary school. And that is the Crispin series. So this is Crispin and the Cross of Lead, Crispin at the Edge of the World, and Crispin the End of Time. I don't remember too terribly much about them. These are set, I believe, in like medieval plague times, and Crispin's mother passes away and the father of the abbey passes away, and those are like the only two people that are kind to him. And the guy, the like lord of his village, wants him dead, so because he overheard something he wasn't supposed to, and so he has to run away. He ends up with this man named Bear, and they have just shenanigans and adventures. I only ever read the first one, but yeah, they're just super fast, like lower end of middle grade, and I'm hoping I can just kind of blaze through them and have a bit of nostalgia and enjoy the process along the way. All right, next is another YA booktube classic, and that is the Daughter of Smoke and Bone series by Lanny Taylor. I've kind of wanted to get into it, but honestly, the old covers were like some of the ugliest things I have ever seen. I hated them so much. And I mean, I'm kind of picky like that. I don't want ugly books. So when I saw these covers, they are absolutely stunning, and I had to have them. It came in a box set. So there's Daughter of Smoke and Bone, Days of Blood and Starlight, and Dreams of Gods and Monsters. This series is set in Prague, and this is basically handprints are forming where, like, what is it, like demons, sort of angel creatures are leaving them there, and there's an otherworldly war going on and a little bit of a romance. I know this tends to be very loved, so now that I have it, I'm excited to finally get to it. Alright, next were my Book of the Month books. I got Survive the Night by Riley Sager. I have like almost all of his books, even though I've only read one. I really loved it, so I guess I'm just assuming I'm gonna love all of them, and I really need to get to reading them. But this is about a girl who, there's a serial killer on their campus, I believe, and she ends up hitchhiking with a guy and thinks that he might be the serial killer, and she's trying to survive the ride with him. And it's, I think, supposed to be a game of cat and mouse. And next I also got 56 Days by Catherine Ryan Howard. So this says, 56 days ago, Ciara and Oliver meet in a supermarket queue in Dublin and start dating the same week COVID-19 reaches Irish shores. So, you know, it's a little close to home because it's set during COVID times. 35 days ago, when lockdown threatens to keep them apart, Oliver suggests they move in together. Ciara sees an opportunity for a relationship to flourish, and Oliver sees a chance to hide who and what he really is. Today, detectives arrive at Oliver's apartment to discover a decomposing body inside. And can they determine what really happened, or has lockdown created an opportunity for someone to commit the perfect crime? And finally, I kind of completed my collection of the Disney Twisted Tales. I read Reflection and really loved it. Instead of going through them all, because we will be here all day, this is Once Upon a Dream. This is Sleeping Beauty, but instead of outside of her dreams, Sleeping Beauty never woke up, and we are inside of her dreams as she's trying to fight through it. And these are all by Liz Braswell, except the last one. This is A Whole New World. This is Aladdin, but if Jafar had gotten the lamp instead of Aladdin. This is part of your world. This is The Little Mermaid, but if Ariel had never defeated Ursula, and Ursula, I believe, had managed to actually become the princess. And then I have As Old as Time. This is Beauty and the Beast, but if the one that cursed the beast was actually Belle's mother. And lastly, I got Go the Distance. This is Hercules, but after Hercules gains his godhood back, Megara has to prove that she is worthy of him basically by becoming a goddess herself, and has to complete a quest to do so. That is it. That is all of the books that I got throughout June and July. Hold me to it. I cannot buy any more books for a while. So let me know if you have read any of these books, what you thought about them. Did you like them? Did you hate them? Do you think they're just going to be a waste of my time? Do you think they're going to be my new favorites? Thank you so much for coming and watching my video today. Remember to subscribe if you would like to, and I will see you next time. Bye!